Have you ever wondered what lies hidden on the darkest floor of our oceans? Treasures not made of gold, but of something even more valuable in our modern world? Imagine tiny rocks, no larger than potatoes, scattered across the Pacific seabed. Rocks that could change the future of energy, transportation, and even geopolitics. They're called polymetallic nodules, and they might just be the key to powering the next generation of electric vehicles. For decades, scientists knew they existed. These nodules are made of critical metals: nickel, cobalt, manganese, and copper, all essential for manufacturing the batteries that drive electric cars. But here's the twist. For years, these rocks sat untouched, too difficult, too expensive, too remote to retrieve. And now, with the global race toward electric mobility, nations and corporations are suddenly looking at the ocean floor as the next great frontier for mining. But before we dive further, let me ask you, when you think of mining, do you picture men digging tunnels, or giant machines tearing into mountain ranges? What about the bottom of the ocean, thousands of feet below, in total darkness, where life thrives in ways we barely understand? That's where this story takes us. Here's the surprising fact. The largest known deposit of these nodules isn't in Africa, or South America, or Asia. It's deep in the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, a vast stretch of the Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and Mexico. To give you perspective, this area covers more than 4.5 million square kilometers, larger than the continental United States. And scattered across this seabed, scientists estimate, are more than 21 billion tons of polymetallic nodules. Think about that. Buried beneath our oceans, quietly waiting, lies one of the largest supplies of the very minerals we need to make electric cars possible. Now, here's where the story gets more mysterious and, dare I say, controversial. The Pacific seabed doesn't belong to just one nation. It's governed by the International Seabed Authority, ISA, an organization created under the United Nations to regulate who can explore and who can exploit these minerals. Right now, over 30 exploration licenses have been issued to countries and companies, including China, Russia, India, France, Japan, South Korea, and even private corporations backed by Western investors. So the question becomes, who will actually get to own and mine these deep-sea riches? And what will it mean for the rest of us? Conventional wisdom says that mining is dirty, destructive, and unavoidable if we want progress. That's the belief most of us grew up with. But here's the contrast. Supporters of deep-sea mining argue that harvesting polymetallic nodules might actually be less harmful than tearing up forests, mountains, and indigenous lands onshore. Why? Because these nodules sit loose on the seabed. No need for blasting, no forests to clear, no mountains to topple. Yet, on the other hand, marine scientists warn, the deep ocean is the most fragile ecosystem on Earth, and disturbing it could unleash consequences we don't fully understand. Imagine plumes of sediment drifting across habitats that took millions of years to form. Imagine losing unknown species before we even discover them. Let's pause here. Ask yourself this. Do we, as humans, have the right to disturb a world we haven't even fully explored, all in the name of building electric cars? Or is this the inevitable price of progress? One more trade-off between environmental preservation and human ambition? Now, I want to give you a perspective you won't hear often. Think about history. Every time humanity discovered a new resource, whether it was gold in California, oil in the Middle East, or rare earth elements in China, it reshaped the balance of power. Wars were fought. Fortunes were made. Empires rose and fell. Could polymetallic nodules be our next turning point? Already, the tension is building. China holds the largest number of exploration licenses in the Pacific. The United States, ironically, has not ratified the treaty that created the International Seabed Authority, which means American companies are at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, a Canadian company called the Metals Company has emerged as a frontrunner, promising to start commercial mining as early as 2025. So, who will strike first? Who will shape the future of electric vehicles, and perhaps the energy economy of the 21st century? Here's why this matters to you. Right now, you probably see electric vehicles as a growing trend. Tesla, Rivian, Ford's F-150 Lightning. But all of these depend on batteries. And those batteries depend on metals. If the supply chains choke, EV prices skyrocket, slowing down the clean energy transition. But if the Pacific seabed delivers, we might see cheaper EVs, more accessible to everyday families. The stakes are enormous, not just for technology, but for the planet. And here's where the mystery deepens. Mining companies argue that we have no choice. Land-based cobalt mines in the Congo come with child labor and environmental devastation. Land-based nickel mining in Indonesia wipes out rainforests. So is the deep ocean our least bad option? Or are we repeating the same cycle of exploitation, just in a place we can't see? Here's a detail that adds weight. A single square kilometer of the Clarion-Clipperton Zone can contain over 15 million nodules. Each one takes millions of years to form, growing only millimeters over centuries. So when a mining machine scoops them up, it's not just harvesting rocks, it's erasing geological history older than humanity itself. Think of it this way. For centuries, the ocean has been humanity's final frontier. We've mapped the stars more accurately than we've mapped the deep sea. And now, in the 21st century, we stand at a crossroads. Do we dare to turn the ocean floor into our next industrial zone? And this isn't just about technology, it's about philosophy. The UN calls the deep seabed the common heritage of mankind. But what does that mean in practice? Is it really shared by all of us? Or will it become, like oil, controlled by the few, while the rest of the world pays the price? Let me leave you with this thought. Perhaps the true mystery isn't just about what lies under the sea, but what choices we will make when we finally touch it. Will polymetallic nodules bring us cleaner cars, or will they awaken consequences we aren't ready to face? Before I wrap up, let me ask you, what do you think is the real treasure here? The metals that could power the future, or the untouched mystery of the deep ocean itself? Thank you for watching. If this story fascinated you as much as it fascinates me, don't let it fade into the depths. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Would you support deep-sea mining for the sake of EVs, or should we leave the ocean untouched? And if you'd like to continue uncovering the hidden truths beneath the waves, subscribe to Ancient Underwater Mysteries. There are more secrets waiting.